Good morning to you all. Is my voice audible? Is my voice audible to you all? Okay, fine. So in the last class, what we have discussed? We have discussed about the kinetic energy. Okay, fine. The kinetic energy of the body, which is having combined translational as well as rotational motion. There we found that the total kinetic energy is equal to half I omega square and then plus half mv square. Okay, fine. So this is the kinetic energy of the total kinetic energy of the body having combined translational and rotational motion. Okay. Then we have next one is okay. The next one is the angular momentum of the momentum angular momentum of combined combined translational and rotational motion. Okay, how to find the angular momentum? Fine. Suppose that we have a body. Suppose that we have some arbitrary shaped body. Okay. Now this body is moving with the velocity v on the right side as well as rotating with omega, angular velocity omega, about the center. Fine. So this body is having both translational motion as well as rotational motion. Now if we need to find the angular momentum about any point, okay, suppose I take a point A outside the body itself. Okay, fine. Then the angular momentum about the A is given by the angular momentum about center of the mass plus the angular momentum of the body, the angular momentum the angular momentum of center of the mass with respect to point A. Okay, so the angular momentum about point A is given by the angular momentum of the body about center of the mass plus angular momentum of the center of the mass with respect to point A. Or we can write like this: angular momentum is equal to about A will be equal to the moment of inertia of the body about center of the mass into omega. Omega is the angular velocity plus the total mass of the body, okay, into r cross v. Means if you assume the mass of the whole body to be concentrated at the center, then the angular momentum of the point mass would be given by total mass of the body into r cross v plus the moment of inertia of the body about center of the mass into omega. Now what is r vector here? R vector is the position vector of point A with respect to center. Okay, so this is the R vector. Okay, so R vector is basically the position vector of point C with respect to the center. Okay, fine. So that is how we can find the angular momentum of the body, which is having both combined rotational as well as translational motion. Okay, did you all understand this? Yes or no? Derivation is same like before the derivation which we have done for kinetic energy, but I'm not going into derivation part. Simply I'm giving the result here. Okay, so please make a note of this. Then we'll do one problem. Then you will have a better understanding of this concept. Okay, fine. Have you copied this? Have you copied this? Okay, fine. Okay, so let us do one problem based on this. Okay, the question is a solid sphere. Basic. Okay, don't take solid sphere. Take disk. Okay, a disk of mass 5 kg and radius 2 meter. Okay, a disk of mass 5 kg, radius 2 meter is moving with the velocity. Okay, is moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second, and it is rotating with an angular velocity of omega, that is 2 radian per second. Okay, find the angular momentum of the disk about point A. Okay, now this point A is located somewhere here. Okay, at a distance of 1 meter from the center. Okay, so you need to find the angular momentum about point A. The point A is located at a distance of 1 meter from the center. Okay, did you understand this problem? Fine. It is moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second on the right side. It is rotating with omega. So you need to find the angular momentum about point A. Okay, so just use the concept there that angular momentum about any point will be given by moment of inertia through center of the mass into omega plus total mass of the body r cross v vector. Okay, so we have to use this concept to find the angular momentum of point A. Okay, can I get the answer for this? 70. Okay, 70. Inside the plane, outside the plane. 70 inside the plane, outside the plane. Inside. Okay. So you also getting 70 answer. What is the unit of the angular momentum? SI unit? It should be what? Kg meter square per second. Kg meter square per second. Okay. Anyone else got the answer for this? 70. Okay. So I think I should solve now. Okay. See, the angular momentum about point A is given by the moment of inertia of the body about center of the mass. Now it is a disk. Okay, for disk, what is the moment of inertia? Can you tell me? For disk, what is the moment of inertia about the center? It is basically mr square by 2. Okay, mr square by 2 is the moment of inertia through center of the mass into omega plus total mass of the body. The total mass of the body is 5 kg. Now, now, okay, first of all, one thing I missed there. If you talk about I center of the mass into omega, it is mr square by 2 into omega. What about the direction? Direction would be inside the plane because omega is clockwise. So when omega is clockwise, then angular momentum would be inside the plane cross. Okay, we can see that omega is clockwise, so we have to curl the finger in the direction of the omega. The thumb will show the direction of the angular momentum. So it is inside the plane. Okay, plus total mass of the body, that is 5. Now, when you talk about the magnitude of mr cross v, there only I told you one thing, that mr cross v, okay, angular momentum is mr cross v vector. Fine. So I told you if I have to find the magnitude of L, can I write like this? M into r perpendicular into velocity, or m into r v perpendicular. Either of the way we can write this angular momentum. Now if you draw the r vector here, r vector will have the tail at point A and head towards the center. This is your r vector. Now this particular r will have two components. One component is this component, other is this component. So which component is perpendicular to the velocity? That is the component. This one is perpendicular to the velocity. And what is the magnitude of that r perpendicular? That is 1 meter. Okay. So can I write like this? The angular momentum of this body will be equal to total mass into r perpendicular into v. This formula we can use here. Okay. So can we write like this? Total mass is 5. R perpendicular value is how much? R perpendicular into v. Okay. Now we substitute the value here. Now direction of this angular momentum. See, r vector is along this side. Velocity is, this is the r vector. So what we have to do, r cross v. R cross v means put your fingers on the r, rotate towards the v. Where is the thumb pointing? Inside the plane. So this would be again cross. Okay. So cross means inside. We can add both the cross. Okay. Now we can put the values here. It would be 5 into 2 square divided by 2 into 2 plus total mass is 5 into r perpendicular is 1 meter into velocity is 10. Okay. So this would be 4 into 5, 20 plus 50 means 70. 70 kg meter square per second inside the plane. This is the answer. Okay. Fine. So 70 kg meter square per second inside the plane is the answer. I hope you understand this. Yes or no? This is an important point, how to find the angular momentum about any point when it is having pure rotational as well as translational motion. Okay. When it is having both translational and rotational motion. Did you all understand this? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So please make a note. We'll do one more problem based on this. Okay. Fine. Have you all copied? This week portion will be full center of the mass. Sorry, full rotational motion. I have given you the subtopic also. Center of the mass, torque, angular momentum, and its conservation, pure rolling motion, everything will come. Okay. Okay, very good question you have asked, that if one is inside the plane, other is outside the plane. So you have to assume any one of the direction as positive. You assume outside the plane as positive. Okay, then inside would be negative in that case. Okay, so directly you can add positive plus negative. Okay, I think the paper is on set Sunday only. 2, I think 2 January the paper is there. I think 2 or 3. I I don't. Okay, I'll tell you afterwards. Okay, tomorrow I'll tell you. Fine. Can we do one more problem based on this? Okay. The next problem is a solid sphere, a solid sphere of mass, solid sphere of mass 7 kg and radius 2 meter. Okay, is moving with the velocity of 10 meter per second and rotating with an angular velocity of 1 radian per second. Here omega is in anti-clockwise. Okay, omega is in anti-clockwise. Fine. Find the angular momentum about point A. Now point A is this is the point A. Point A is the point where the body is touching the surface. Okay. So you need to find the angular momentum about point A. Fine. So the body is moving with the angular velocity of 1 radian per second in anti-clockwise. It is moving on the right side with the speed of 10 meter per second. Mass is 7 kg, radius is 2 meter. You have to find the angular momentum about point A. Find the angular momentum about point A. Okay. Again, we have to use the same formula. What is that formula? That angular momentum about point any point is given by the moment of inertia through center of the mass into omega plus m r cross v vector. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is the formula which we have to use here. It is a solid sphere, so you should know the formula of the moment of inertia through center of the mass for the solid sphere. Okay, it is 2 by 5 mr square. Yes, 128.8. Inside the plane, outside the plane, inside or outside? Inside, inside. Okay, okay, fine. So I think first of all we have to write I center of the mass which will be equal to 2 by 5 into mr square. Mass is 7, radius is 2 square into omega. Omega is 1. What about the direction of this angular momentum? Is it inside the plane, outside the plane? Direction is inside or outside? Outside. Very good. Because omega is anti-clockwise. So you curl your finger in the direction of the omega. The thumb is pointing outside. So it should be outside dot. Then Total mass of the body is 7 kg. What about r vector? Now r vector, if you have to draw, this is the r vector. Fine. And this r vector is perpendicular to the velocity. So directly we can say r perpendicular will be equal to 2 meters. Okay, so 7 into r value will be 2, velocity is 10. Now is it inside the plane, outside the plane? Inside, very good. This would be inside because this is the r vector. Okay, so r cross v will come inside. That is cross. Now we can get the answer for this. The answer will be how much? This will be 4, 4 into 2, 8, 56, I think. 56 by 5. Okay, so this will come out to be 11.2 minus, because we have taken, sorry, positive. I have taken dot as positive and cross as in negative. Okay, plus plus 7 into 2, 14 into 10, 140. Negative, because cross is taken as negative. Okay, so answer will be how much? Minus 140 plus 11.2 minus 128.8 kilogram meter square per second. This is the answer. Okay, minus, what does this minus indicate? It indicates that it is inside the plane. Okay, so it is inside the plane cross. Fine. I hope you are getting this. Fine. Okay, next problem is, we have a rod. Okay, that rod is moving with the velocity of, say, 5 meter per second. Okay, the mass of the mass of rod is 3 kg. The mass of the rod is 3 kg. Length of the rod is 10 meters. Find the angular momentum about point A. Okay, A point is somewhere here. Okay, the distance of A point from the center is 3 meter. This is the center of the rod. See, so you have to find the angular momentum of this, and this rod is rotating uh, in a clockwise. This rod is rotating in clockwise with omega 10 radian per second. Okay, fine. So can you get the angular momentum about point A? It is rotating with omega clockwise, that is 10 radian per second. Then it is moving with velocity 5 meter per second. Okay, length of the rod is 10 meter. So you need to find the angular momentum about point A. Okay, can you get the answer about this? It is simply practice which we are doing now. Okay, I will show all the slide at the end of the class. Okay, 295. Okay, I think the same concept. Angular momentum at point A will be equal to I center of the mass into omega plus m r cross v vector. Okay, so if you take the rod, what is the moment of inertia about center of the mass? That is ml square by 12 into omega plus m r perpendicular. What is the value of r perpendicular here? This is the r vector. This is the r vector. Fine. This is the r vector. So which component of perpendicular? This 3 meter is perpendicular. Okay, simple 3 meters perpendicular. Okay, fine. So it should be how much? R perpendicular into velocity. Fine. Now ml square. What is the value of mass? That is 3 into length is how much? 10 square by 12 into omega is 10. Now inside the plane, outside the plane. Inside the plane because omega is clockwise. Cross plus total mass is how much? 3. R perpendicular is 3. Velocity is how much? 5. Is it inside the plane, outside the plane? R cross V is outside the plane. Okay, dot. Because this will be your R vector R cross V outside the plane. Okay, fine. So what answer we are getting here? 3 into 10 square into 10 divided by 12, 250 minus, and this will be how much? 15 into 3, 45 plus 45. So 250 minus 45 means minus 205. Okay, I think this is the answer. Minus 205 kg meter square second, or we can say 205 kg meter square per second cross, because we have taken cross as negative. Okay, so this is the answer here. 205 inside the plane or minus 205, both are correct only. Fine. Okay, fine. So please make a note of this. Okay, now next thing is pure rolling motion. Okay, next thing is pure rolling motion. Okay, now when I am talking about rolling motion, what we understand by rolling motion? Basically, when a body is having both translatory as well as rotary motion, then we say a rolling motion. Okay, so rolling motion means what? When the motion of the body, when a body performs, when body performs both translational and rotational motion. Okay, then we say a body is having pure. Then we say the body is having rolling motion when it is having both translational as well as rotational motion. Fine. Okay, so what all we have done till now? What we have found the kinetic energy of the body. We have found the angular momentum of the body. In the case of combined translational and rotational motion, then we found the velocity of the body, acceleration of the body. All were basically rolling motion only. Okay, so when a body perform both translational and as well as rotational motion, then we say it is a rolling motion. Okay, now next is pure rolling motion. Now what we understand by pure rolling motion? Pure rolling motion means that whenever there is whenever we say pure rolling, it is basically that a body is said to be having a pure rolling motion when the velocity of the point of contact is zero. The velocity of the particle or the body about the point of contact is 0. Then we say the body is having pure rotational motion. Okay, pure rolling motion. Okay, it means that if the velocity, if the velocity of the contact, if the velocity of point of contact with respect to surface, with respect to surface is 0, is 0, then we say it is a pure rolling motion. Okay, then we say it is a pure rolling motion when the velocity of the point of contact with respect to surface is 0. Okay, suppose that this is the body, it is moving with the velocity v. Suppose this is moving with velocity v as well as rotating with omega. Fine. The radius of this body is r. Now this body can be any circular body. It can be your disk, it can be your solid sphere, it can be your hollow sphere, hollow cylinder, solid cylinder, any body it can be, okay, which can roll. Okay. So suppose we have a body that is moving with the velocity v and having a radius r, and it is moving with angular velocity omega in clockwise direction. Now, if the body has to have the pure rolling motion, it means that veloc- velocity at the point of contact. So this point is this point of contact. Suppose this is the point A. Okay. Now the velocity at this point is 0. The velocity of point of contact of the body is 0. How it can be 0? Okay. Now we have studied that in the case of rolling motion, we can break this body, we can break this velocity into two component, means not two component. Basically we can analyze in two different things. One is translational motion, other is rotational motion. So when you talk about translational motion, this point A will have velocity on this side, that is v, and when we talk about rotational motion, the velocity at this point will be omega into r. Okay, omega into r on the opposite side. Fine, omega into r. We can clearly see that when you break into two component, one is rotational motion, other is translational motion. Then translational velocity will be v on the right side, and rotational will be omega r. Now the velocity at the point of contact must be 0, which means what? V minus omega r must be equal to 0. Therefore, V must be equal to omega r. Or we can say the angular velocity omega equal to V by r. This is the condition of the pure rolling, that angular velocity omega equal to V by r. Okay, the angular velocity omega is equal to V by r. This is the particular condition for pure rolling of the body. I hope you understand this. Yes or no? See, what is pure rolling? Pure rolling means that the velocity of the point of contact with respect to the surface is 0. Suppose that we have a body which is moving with velocity v, it is rotating with angular velocity omega, radius is r. Then, for a pure rolling condition, the velocity at the point of contact, here the point of contact is a, the velocity at a should be equal to 0. So, if we find the velocity at a, we will have translational velocity of translational, that is v, and as well as rotational, that is omega r. So v minus omega r must be equal to 0, or we can say omega is equal to v by r. So this is the condition for pure rolling. Fine, omega equal to v by r. Did you get this? Yes or no? Please respond to me, okay, so that I can move forward. Please respond to me. Okay, got it. Fine. You should quickly respond to me, okay? Okay, fine. Okay. So that is what the condition of pure rolling. Now, let us suppose I take one more condition. Okay. Suppose that suppose that we have a plank. That plank is moving with the velocity of v, suppose v dash. Okay, on this plank, on this plank, we have a body which is rotating with angular velocity omega and moving with velocity v. Okay, now can you tell me what will be the condition for pure rolling in this case? What will be the condition of pure rolling in this case? Here the surface is not stationary, it is moving with velocity v dash. Okay, it is moving with velocity v dash. Fine. Then what will be the condition of the pure rolling in this case? V plus v dash must be equal to omega r. Okay, fine. See, v equal to omega r plus v dash. Okay. Okay, so just go for the basic definition of pure rolling. What does pure rolling says? It states that the velocity at the point of contact is zero with respect to the surface. Okay. Now suppose I take 2 points. One point is very close to the surface, say A dash, other point on the body, that is A. Okay, so I have taken a two bodies, two point very close to each other. Okay, at the point of contact. Now just tell me for uh, for for a pure rolling condition, the velocity of the point of contact of the body should be same as the velocity of the surface point A dash. Am I correct? That is what pure rolling means. That it means that velocity of the point of contact of the body with respect to surface is zero. Okay, so can I say that VA dash, velocity of A dash is how much? V dash must be equal to velocity of point A. Now, if you find the velocity of point A, then we have translational motion V, then we have rotational motion R omega. So velocity of A will be equal to how much? V minus R omega. So we can say velocity at A dash must be equal to A. So V dash must be equal to V minus R omega. Did you get this? Yes or no? Yes. It should be V dash equal to V minus R omega. Very good. Okay. So, so don't blindly say that whenever the pure rolling concept comes, you don't say that V equal to R means R, omega is equal to V by R. Okay. You have to see that whether the surface is moving or not. If it is moving, then this is the expression for the pure rolling. Pure rolling. When surface is moving with v dash velocity. Okay, and when the surface is stationary, then we have omega equal to v by r. This is when surface is stationary. Okay, so in 95% of the problem you will get this expression only, that omega equal to v by r. In 95% problem you will have the surface stationary. Okay, last line, see, when the surf see here I have taken a condition where the plank is moving with velocity v dash. Okay, in the previous case I have taken the surface, stationary surface means the ground I have taken. So when there is a ground or stationary surface, then for the pure rolling condition omega must be equal to v by r. Okay, now when the surface is also moving, this is the surface moving with velocity v dash. In that case, velocity of the point of contact should be same as the velocity of the plank. That is v dash must be equal to v minus r omega. That is the condition for pure rolling if the surface is moving with v dash velocity. Okay, fine. Understood this point or not? Okay, so we can make a small correction in the definition of pure rolling. Pure rolling says that if the velocity of point of contact with respect to surface is zero, or or we can say like this, if the surface is moving, if the surface is moving, if surface is moving, then velocity of point of contact, the velocity of point of contact should be same as should be same as velocity of the surface. Fine. I hope you understand this point. That if the surface is moving, then the velocity of the point of contact should be same as the velocity of the surface. And if it is stationary, then it is simply omega equal to v by r. Okay. I hope you are getting some idea of pure rolling. Yes or no? Any doubt you can ask me. If we rearrange the equation, so, you can rearrange this expression. You can write v equal to v dash plus r omega. No problem in that. Okay, fine. There is no problem in that. You can rearrange the expression. There is no problem. Okay, fine. Okay, so if we rearrange the equation, we will get v minus v dash by r. Right. Okay. We can get this expression by using relative v by r. Relative v. Relative v. Relative velocity with respect to what? With respect to ground or with respect to the body? In what term you are telling us relative? Is it with respect to the body or with respect to the ground? See, even if you change the direction of the plank, there is no problem. That is why I gave given you this statement that if the surface is moving, then velocity of point of contact should be same as the velocity of the surface. Okay, so you just need to equate the velocity of the plank with the velocity of the surface. Velocity of the point of contact of the body. Okay. With respect to body, relative velocity will be equal to how much? V dash minus v equal to omega r. V minus v dash is equal to omega r. Now v minus v dash is relative velocity by r equal to omega. Yes, yes, I think that is correct. V minus v dash by r equal to omega. Okay, that also we can do. Fine. Okay, I hope you copied this. Okay, now next is the acceleration in the case of pure rolling. So in the case of pure rolling, in pure rolling, the same condition that the acceleration of the point of contact should be same. The acceleration of point of contact should be same. Now let us suppose we take a condition here that we have a body that is moving with an acceleration a. It is rotating with angular velocity omega alpha, angular acceleration alpha, angular velocity omega. Okay, radius of this body is r. Now when you talk about pure rolling, the acceleration of the point A or the point of contact should be equal to 0 if the surface is stationary. Okay, in the case of pure rolling, the acceleration of point of contact should be 0. Should be 0 when surface is stationary. Okay, now when you talk about acceleration of any point, Basically, we will have two acceleration. One will be what? Tangential acceleration. That would be alpha into r. Next one is translational acceleration. That is a. And then we have centripetal acceleration. That is omega square r. Okay, omega square r. Fine. So when you talk about pure rolling in this case, when you talk about pure rolling in this case, then the acceleration of the point of contact should be zero, which means what? The tangential acceleration should be same as a. Okay, fine. It means that a must be equal to alpha r. This is the case when the body is stationary. Okay, therefore alpha must be equal to, sorry, a by r. Okay, so tangential acceleration should be same as the translational acceleration. Then only we can say that the acceleration of the point of contact is zero. When can you have point of contact acceleration zero? When a is equal to alpha r. Okay, fine. When a must be equal to alpha r, then only the acceleration at the point of contact will be zero. Am I correct? Yes or no? When the acceleration of the point of contact is equal to zero, when a is equal to alpha r. Okay, so from here we get one expression that alpha is equal to a by r. Okay, yes or no? Do you have any doubt in this? You could have asked me one thing that what about omega square r? What is the purpose of omega square r in this case? Changing direction of what? Changing direction of what? Changing direction of the particle. See, if you take pure rolling condition, do you think that every time when a pure rolling is there, the point remains same or it changes? Every time the point of contact is changing or it remains the same? Changing, yes. Okay. It is always changing. And which force is responsible for changing the particle? Is it alpha r or omega square r? Omega square r, yes, very good, very good, very good. See, if you think of the pure rolling, the acceleration at the point of contact should be zero. Therefore, a must be equal to alpha r. That is correct. Okay. But when you take the pure rolling condition, you will find that at each time, the particle which is in contact with the surface is changing. Okay, you rotate, if you have doubt, you take a coin and you roll the coin. You will see that at every point means when the coin is rolling, you will see that the point of contact is changing every time. Okay, and the point of contact is changing, and who is changing that point of contact? This tangential acceleration omega square r, sorry, radial acceleration omega square r. Because of this force, this particle will move upward. When it moves upward, other particle will take the position of that particle. Okay, that is why in the case of pure rolling, the velocity particle is zero, but every time the particle is different. Particle is not same. Particle is different in the case of pure rolling. Okay, fine. So we can write one point here that this is the case for pure rolling. Pure rolling means A must be equal to alpha r when surface is stationary. Fine. Now, what is the purpose of omega square r? Okay, now we can write one more note that acceleration of the particle A is omega square r. Omega square r. That is why, because of this acceleration, that is why the particle moves up, and the next particle comes in contact with the surface. Okay, the next particle comes in the contact with the surface, and again we have the same condition that for pure rolling A must be equal to alpha r. Okay, fine. Did you understand this point? Yes or no? Now when you talk about pure rolling, is the friction force acting on this? Yes or no? Is the friction force acting? Is the friction responsible for rolling the body? No, there is no friction. If I'm talking about pure rolling, then I'm saying that the velocity or the acceleration of the point of contact is zero. It means what? The friction force is acting, and that friction force is static friction, because static friction will come into play when there is no relative motion between the two bodies. Okay, I'll tell you that. Okay, I'll tell you that point also. Fine. Just for now, you copy this. I'll tell you that point also. Okay. It is the friction only which is responsible for rolling the body. If there is no friction, can you roll the body on the surface? Can you think of a very smooth surface? You try to roll the body. Will you able to roll the body in a smooth surface? Yes or no? If V of center of the mass is constant, then the point of contact is same. Point of contact is same. I didn't get you what you're trying to tell me. Velocity of center of mass is same. Same to what? Okay. Okay, one more thing we'll discuss. Suppose now another case that suppose the Planck is moving with velocity v1 and acceleration a dash. Now in this case, suppose this body is moving with velocity v, rotating with angular velocity omega alpha, radius is r. Then for this pure rolling condition, what is the pure rolling condition for this case? In this case, the acceleration of the Planck, that is a dash, must be equal to the acceleration of the point of contact. So when you talk about point of contact, we have an acceleration a on the right side. Okay, then we have alpha r on the left side, and then we have omega square r. Omega square r. Okay, so the acceleration of the Planck would be equal to the acceleration of point of contact, which is alpha a minus alpha r. Okay, this is the acceleration when Planck is moving. Okay, then for the pure rolling condition, the acceleration of a dash must be equal to a minus alpha. Okay, fine. Okay, tangential acceleration is caused by the friction. Is it right? Tangential acceleration. Yes, friction is providing the torque to rotate the body. So if it is providing the torque, it will provide the tangential acceleration also. Okay, we'll discuss in the force analysis. Okay, now we are discussing the kinematics of rolling motion. Okay, then we'll discuss the force analysis will be done. in that. There you will understand, okay, the friction is the one which provides the torque. Then we have external force, then we have mg also. Okay, point of contact, see, for rolling motion we have only one point of contact. Okay, now when it is rolling, the point of contact is every time changing. Every time when the body is rolling, the point of contact is changing. But the condition for the pure rolling is that whatever point is in contact with the surface, its velocity will be zero if the surface is not moving. Okay, so point of contact will always change. Fine. But the pure rolling condition is that the when the velocity of the point of contact, the acceleration of the point of contact should be zero if the surface is fixed, if the surface is not moving. Okay, fine. I hope you understood this. Okay, so let us do one simple problem based on this. Suppose we have a body, we have a disk of mass m, a disk of a disk of mass m and radius r. Okay, it is moving with the velocity 10 meter per second. Okay, fine. The radius is 1 meter. Okay, find the angular velocity of the disk when pure rolling condition is there. In pure rolling, okay. Find the angular velocity of the disk in the pure rolling. Very simple problem it is. Okay. Find the condition for the pure rolling. 10. I think very simple problem it is. Simply what we have to do, we have to see the point of contact. Okay. Point of contact velocity is 10 meter per second on the right side. Then it is, suppose this body is moving with omega. So omega r on the left side. So we can say 10 is equal to omega r. Therefore omega is equal to 10 by r. R is equal to 1. So 10 radian per second is the angular velocity of the body in the case of pure rolling. Okay, fine. Now, if I give you two conditions here, okay, you tell me the answer. Fine. Suppose we have a body, okay, that body is given a velocity of 10 meter per second. Okay, 10 meter per second, and there is no friction. Will the body roll? A body is given a velocity of 10 meter per second. There is no friction. Friction is zero, mu equal to zero. So will the body roll on the surface? No, it won't roll. It will have the pure translational motion. Means after some time you will see that the body will be moving with the same velocity 10 meter per second. It will have a pure translational motion. Okay. So if there is no friction, it will have the pure translational motion. Okay. Now next case, suppose that again we taken a frictionless surface, mu equal to zero, and on this surface I have rolled the body or I have rotated the body with angular velocity say omega. So what will be the condition of this body? Will the body roll or it will keep on moving with omega or it will keep on rotating with omega? If there is no friction on the surface and you just rotate the body, will the body will roll? Okay, it won't roll. Okay, sorry, it will roll. It won't move in the translatory motion. Okay, it will keep on rotating with omega on this position only. On the same position, it will keep on rotating with omega. Okay. Fine. So from these two experiments, we have to understand one point that the friction is responsible for rolling the body. Means friction force is responsible for a combined rotational as well as translational motion, or we can say rolling motion. So for a rolling motion, we require friction force. If there is no friction, you cannot have a rolling motion. So whenever I'm talking about the rolling motion, it is the combined translational as well as rotational motion. Okay, fine. Did you all understand this? Yes or no? Okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss that if you simply leave the body, means if you give translatory motion to the body, okay, and there is friction on the surface, then after some time it will keep on it will start pure rolling condition. Okay, that we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, fine. I think time is up, so you can see all the slides here. Okay, thank you all.